So what's up? Today I got for you 8 epic habits that you can do in literally under 1 minute for massive results to get the life that you want. And without further ado, let's go. And the number 1 is to hype yourself up. Before you do anything, just hype yourself up, man. You know, you're about to go talk to a new person, hype yourself up. Boom, 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 boom. I'm the best. You know, you're gonna go get a job interview, you're gonna do literally anything, hype yourself up. You know what? You get that dopamine boost, you feel good, you feel confident, you get better results because of it. You know, it's amazing. Just by little bit of hyping yourself up, the difference is huge. And you can notice it when you force yourself, you literally force yourself to be energetic, you become energetic. You become the type of person who's in the mood. You know what? I actually want to work now. And I want to get shit done. You know what? I want to actually meet new people. You become that rough and rowdy person that you can be. You get into that mood of, you know what? We're on the football field, and you know what? I'm gonna destroy my opponents. I'm gonna destroy them. I'm gonna go all in hard, boom, because you hyped yourself up. And it takes just a moment of just saying something positive, like I'm the best. I'm gonna do this. I can't lose. I'm gonna go win. I'm a winner. You know, whatever. Say whatever you think, whatever creative stuff you come up with. Be your chest. Be King Kong. Whatever. And you know what? You just get so confident and you get so happy. It's amazing. And the energy you get from it is fantastic. You just become more productive, more confident, and who doesn't want that? So hype yourself up. Literally takes 5 seconds and you get massive results, massive benefits in real time. And the second thing that you have to learn, the second habit, is to say no. N-O. The most important word that you can learn. And here's the rule. If it's something that you don't enjoy a lot, or it doesn't get you closer to the life that you want, say no. Because if it's not one of those two things, it's a waste of time. It's literally, by definition, a waste of time because it doesn't get you closer to the life that you want and you don't even enjoy it. And so if somebody invites you to do something you don't want to do because you're like, you know what, that's boring, I don't want to do that, I would let it work. Just say no and work. You know, if somebody says, you should do this, you should do that, but you feel like, you know, that's not what I truly want to do. I don't want to actually study philanthropy. I don't want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. Then say no and go study engineering. You know, just do what you want to do. Say no to everything else. Say no to the distractions. Say no to everything else that is taken away from the limited time that you have on this planet. Because here's the thing. Time is the only thing that is truly finite. The people around you have probably changed multiple times in your life. You've probably had different friend groups, different periods of your life. So people can be changed, they can be replaced, you can find new friends, you can find more money, you can get more of literally anything else except time. It is the only thing that is truly finite, so don't waste it by saying yes to stuff that you don't actually want to do and that don't actually benefit you and get closer to the life that you want. And yes, I personally am an extremist believer in this. I literally took it so far that, you know what, on Christmas I spend it alone working. I spend it alone studying because I said to myself, I'm gonna get more out of working and studying even on Christmas than spending that time with my family. And you don't have to be this extreme. I'm not saying everyone should do this. But what I'm telling you is that I practice what I preach. And there is an example. You can say no to literally anything if you simply have the balls. So say no to every distraction and everything taken away from your limited time on this planet. Number 3. Boom. Small social interactions. You're walking down the street, somebody else walking past you, you see they have a nice jacket. Cool jacket, bro. You don't have to be that smooth. But what you realize is that when you do these small little interactions, instead of just thinking cool jacket, you say out loud, usually they say something like, oh thanks, and then you walk by. Nothing else happens. But a very small social interaction tricks your brain. It trains your brain to be confident in social situations and interactions. It makes you confident that you can talk to new people. It gives you a dopamine hit. You know, when you talk to a new person, you know, and then you walk away, and after that interaction, you feel amazing. It's like a drug. It's addicting. You get dopamine. It's like all the drugs combined into one, and then you inhale it. Woo! So you go have these small social interactions, and your life improves massively. You become more confident. You become more confident in your capabilities. You might even lead, that small interaction might even lead, not necessarily in the moment, but down the line into you getting a new best friend. Maybe you see them again the next day or next week, and they're like, oh yeah, do you remember me? Yeah, I was the guy with the cool jacket. By the way, what's your name? Boom. Amazing. And just having that very small, little, takes 5 seconds to say cool jacket. You know, you're at the store and you know what, you know where the milk is, but you see someone who looks interesting and you're just going and ask them, do you know where the milk is? And they say, oh, it's in that aisle. Once again, then you can just say, oh, thanks a lot. Have a great day. And walk away. We have a small interaction. And that small interaction, you do it 100 times, at least one time in those 100, it's going to lead to something bigger. It's going to lead to something meaningful. But you're never going to find out if you never have that small interaction to start the fire. You need the spark, that one match in the forest, and boom, wildfire. The fourth habit that literally takes under 1 minute is to analyze everything. You know, you have that small interaction, analyze it. Just take 1 minute to analyze. What could I say better the next time? Maybe I have a pause before I say that other thing. Maybe that's more articulate. It makes it more sophisticated. And then people look at you and they see that you have the aura of a king because you paused. And you know what? Every professional athlete analyzes their matches, their games. Every professional businessman analyzes the trades that they did, the business deals that they did, the marketing campaigns. Just analyzing what you do and what was the thing that worked, what was the thing that didn't work, what can I tweak to make it a bit better, what can I do? That is a part of learning, that is a part of improvement. And here's another thing, when you're at the store buying milk, analyze it. Don't just go with, oh, milk. Analyze. What did it take for that milk to be in that store? Well, somebody had to milk a cow. Then somebody had to transport the milk. Somebody had to be at the factory and pasteurize it. Then somebody had to transport that milk once again to the store. Somebody had to design the carton, design the logos on the carton and so on. Somebody had to measure, the macros on that milk, how many calories is in it and so on. So, and you start analyzing how many different jobs and opportunities there are. And then you start thinking like this. With every decision, you analyze it. And then you start opening up. The whole world opens up to you. And just by buying milk, you notice 10 different opportunities where you're like, you know what, if I optimize that by 2% in a billion-dollar industry, you already start making a lot of fucking money. And you start seeing these opportunities because you took 1 minute out of your day to analyze that choice that you made and what it took for milk to be in the store or what it takes for this wall to be up here right now. Somebody has to get the material, somebody has to design the wall, build the wall, paint the wall, so on. So analyze, be aware and analyze everything. And the fifth thing that I got for you, the small habit, is setting that alarm early. Literally. You're gonna set an alarm anyway. Why not set it early? Wake up early. Literally takes you no more time than it takes right now setting the alarm. You just change the time. But waking up early is magic. Not because working at 8 o'clock in the morning is different than working at 6 o'clock in the evening. Nothing changed except the condition of other people. And what I mean with this is that when you're in the morning, you notice that people don't really call you. Nobody's inviting you to a get-together. You ain't getting called to a party. No booty calls at 10 o'clock in the morning. No distractions. And that's the point. When you wake up early, everyone else is doing something else or sleeping. And that means that no one will distract you. And you can simply focus on that grind, getting shit done, working, going to the gym, getting your steps in, making great food, whatever you're gonna do, go do it and do it early. And then in the evening, when somebody calls, yo babe, great event coming up, you gotta come. You can go there guilt-free, knowing that you already worked 10 hours beforehand, before somebody even called you. But if you didn't wake up early and start working, then now you have to choose between, oh, do I work or do I go to the party? But you can do both if you wake up early enough to where you finish the work before you even get invited to the party. Win-win. So set that alarm early. Literally takes no more time than it already takes you to set the alarm that you do today. And now we're at the number 6. I don't know my fingers numbers, but we're at the number 6. And what the number 6 is, that every time somebody asks you a question, you take a 2-second pause. Just look at the difference. If somebody is to ask me a deep, meaningful question, what is the purpose of life? Look at the difference. I can either answer, the meaning of life is nobody cares anymore. You lost it. Somebody says, what's the meaning of life? Well, the meaning of life is no aura. You lost aura. Aura minus 1 million. But you take a 2-second pause. Well, the meaning of life is, whoa, aura plus 1 million. You notice the difference instantly. Somebody asks you a question, we are so quick to just try to answer. But if you take 2 seconds, not only will you collect your thoughts and give a smarter answer, you also get aura. Because silence is powerful. You take a pause, you look around, you enjoy the silence, you enjoy the tension that it creates. Boom, you win. So every time somebody asks you any question, except maybe your name, because that's a bit weird. Like, what's your name? Well, my name. That's a bit weird. But any other question, take a 2-second pause before you answer. And now we're at number 7. And the number 7 one is to be conscious. Literally. Every now and then just take 5 seconds out of your day to be conscious. What am I doing? What does this achieve? You're playing. It's a summer evening. The sun is shining. Now everything's amazing. You're playing football with the boys, enjoying your life. You take 5 seconds to be conscious. Wow. Life is amazing. This is a golden memory that I will look back upon fondly. What an amazing life I get to live. What an amazing moment. And then you enjoy it that much more. How amazing. Because you took 5 seconds to be conscious. And the opposite is also true. It's 2 a.m. You're scrolling social media. Brain rot. You take 5 seconds to be conscious. What the fuck am I doing with my life? This is brain rot. Throw it away. Instantly, because you became conscious, you realized this is a waste of time. I need to change what I'm doing. So just taking 5 seconds to be conscious, pause and think to yourself, what am I doing and what does this achieve? You either appreciate the moment a lot more if it's a good thing, or if it's a bad thing, you realize that you need to change what you're doing, and that is how you change. And then boom, it works wonders. All of a sudden, the path that you're gonna walk in your life has altered. It has veered by a few degrees. But after enough time, even a few degrees, totally different end result. And so without further ado, let's get on to the final one, the 8th habit that you have to get into for epic massive results. Stop distracting yourself. So many of us are in this endless loop that we constantly distract ourselves. We constantly dump our brain with brain rot. We constantly give it a stimulus, even though you shouldn't. So if you just, literally, for 30 seconds, sit in silence, you put away the phone, you put away the music, you put away the podcast, you put away all the distractions, and you just don't distract your brain. Don't give it a billion different stimuluses for 30 seconds. You know what happens? Something amazing happens. Which is your brain starts getting new ideas and great, wonderful, amazing ideas that you never had before. Now your brain has the time to actually take a breather and to create something new and creative. It's not being clogged by brain rot. It is free to explore the ideas and the wonders that your amazing brain can have. And just having a bit of silence, a moment without distractions, and boom, you can create wonders. That's when you have the best ideas. That's when it comes to you. Like the apple on Isaac Newton's head. Boom, you awaken, you enlighten. It takes 30 seconds and you become like Buddha. I'm not joking. Buddha took decades. For you, it might only take 30 seconds. No guarantees. And so, those are the 8 habits that take literally under 1 minute that will give you massive results and differences in your life. And so, as always, go out there, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.